And welcome back to another episode of The Voice of Reason. We are your hosts. I'm Jeremy Baker. With me, as always, is Mike Felino. And do we have a banger of an episode lined up for you? At least I think so. How was your weekend, Mike?
Good. Saturday. What was that? Yesterday was beautiful. I went to a
It
very nice
was.
wedding.
It was.
The weather was gorgeous, and today it is now 20 or 30 degrees colder and shitty outside. So
Yeah, we're
I'm
both
waiting
on
for
the
my headache to
Northeast.
set in.
So I know, right? I know. Yesterday I was out in a t-shirt enjoying life.
Yeah.
And today it's like 45 degrees and shit outside. So it's like,
Yeah, it's our
welcome to
wonderful.
welcome to October in the Northeast. So
Yeah, whatever the fuck.
exactly. So, all right. So, like I said, we got a great show lined up. Before we get into the show, however, we got to discuss some tragic, well, not tragic news in the GOP, but there's
It's
some
pretty tragic.
presidential, there's some changes in the campaign trail for the GOP
The
side.
landscape,
First of all,
has taken a big shift.
it has. Now, Mike Pence, who we showed this picture last week of him giving a speech at a pharmacy, and I still swear the guy on the left is dead.
That is a dead man.
They just stole him out of the morgue and put him up there.
Oh.
And so he dropped out of the presidential campaign. Yeah, there you go. Lasted all of about 4.5 months. So
I'm surprised because,
sad.
It's really sad. I really thought he had no shot, but this is less than no shot. No. I mean, at least you have like Ron DeSantis flying around using tax dollar money to keep his zombie campaign alive.
Right.
But my God, Mike Pence, the last photo of your campaign alive was in a pharmacy. Like it's not even like a Walgreens or a CVS where you might have some foot traffic. That was definitely like everyone's grandparents who worked there that they got them in. They're like, meet Mike Pence, former vice president.
That was the pharmacy of a town with like 750 people in it.
It was probably in his own hometown.
It probably was, yeah. That was all of his fans right there. So anyway, another thing worth mentioning is Jack Smith is pissed off at Donald Trump and has about had it with his rhetoric. And is now threatening to possibly throw him into, I think he's recommended pre-trial confinement.
He's urged Engron, I think is his name, and I apologize for keep screwing it up.
Judge Engron,
Yeah, the guy in New York, the judge in New York, because let's be completely fair here. Trump has violated the gag order, and the beauty of it is that they lifted the gag order with a temporary stay, knowing that Trump would just stick his own foot right up his own ass and continue to attack people like the clerk and other people in the office. Yeah, so it's pretty amazing. So Jack Smith is has been not just like sending secret messages, he's like publicly saying, maybe it's time we think about pulling the stops on this guy because he's had enough. No other no other defendant in the history of this country has been afforded the luxury of leeway like Donald Trump. And I understand why they did it. I get it, but it's at the point now where he's literally starting and not starting, but his rhetoric, his stochastic terrorism is seeing the fruits are finally coming home. They're finally starting to bear fruit. We're seeing a lot of shit going on. We have, I think today we have a call recording of someone that was threatening some sitting Congress members' wives. These people are starting to get monstrous, and Jack Smith has had just about enough of it because we can't wait until someone dies, because there's plenty of ammunition now to show that we can lock this guy up pending trial.
So. And it's not just that to me. Like, at what point do we label MAGA a domestic terrorist threat? Before, or do we just wait till after they overthrow democracy and they'll go, oh, shit, we should have called it earlier? Like, what are we waiting for?
If I had to guess, they are already considered that within the intelligence agency. I don't think any politician up to and including Joe Biden wants to really say that publicly, because the problem is that Trump has riled up these lunatics so much that even though I think he's going to give them the final stand back and stand by order, it also could come from something that is done to fix this, to bring justice. If Joe Biden especially did anything to curtail the apparent freedoms of MAGA, my God, they would lose their minds, and maybe that would be the catalyst. So I don't know what the right answer is.
If we have time at the end, I'll show the audience his latest ad, which is straight out of Nazi propaganda playbook. Like it's horrifying.
Yeah.
Absolutely horrifying what he's telling his.
Not hyperbole. It's bad.
Oh, it is bad. So, but anyway,
all right, let's see.
Let's start with the show.
So what do we got today?
Continues to be America's greatest bigot. We're just going to call it like it and not sugarcoat it. He recently called pro-Palestinian protest, a peaceful protest, which we'll show a video of here in a second, an insurrection. And she went to she filed a motion to sanction sitting Congresswoman, or is it Rashida Tlaib?
Yep.
I hope I'm saying that right.
Yep, not you are.
For participating in organizing an insurrection. Now, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
From the as of yet unconfirmed, but very, very suspiciously likely, the January 6th bomber. But that's completely hearsay.
Right,
and we're
pipe
not here
bomber Barbie. Let's go.
But the point is that she is front and center. Like, this is someone who was giving tours of the Capitol the day before.
You
know, and before we show the video, there's 2 quick points I want to bring out that are important due to the language Marjorie Taylor Greene used throughout this video.
Yeah.
Pro-Palestine does not mean pro-Hamas, okay? Just like if you were pro-Iraqi people, you aren't pro-Taliban or whatever the heck. You know, we
exactly.
The right especially likes to merge the separation that is reality into one amorphous, vague lie. So being pro-Palestine is not being pro-Hamas. If you are pro-Palestinian civilians, you are not pro-Hamas. The second thing is, and you're going to see from this video, and it is very clear, Marjorie Taylor Greene does not know what an insurrection is. Because a peaceful protest, a loud protest, a protest with chanting, with singing, is a protest. When those protesters break through police barricades, smear shit on the walls, stomp around people's offices, and threaten to hang the vice president, that's an insurrection. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
So let's play the video and keep that in mind, that we are not seeing an insurrection and we are not seeing pro-Hamas protesters.
Right.
But
this is
Marjorie Taylor Greene wants you to think we are.
Exactly, and this is why she is a bigot, because she can't tell the difference. She thinks Palestine and Hamas are one and the same.
She can't even point out where Gaza is, but whatever.
Exactly.
Let's watch this.
An insurrection happening in the Cannon building.
She live streamed this, by the way.
March outside.
Get those views.
The pro-Palestinian march. Literally, they've come in and taken
over. Look at them smearing shit on the walls.
They have taken over, she said.
Yeah, watch out. It's going to be bad. They're definitely bringing weapons and... Oh, wait.
Oh, no, signs and...
they're literally just standing in one group. Oh, wow, look at them.
I'm not seeing it, dude.
Yeah, I don't see people with zip ties, with tactical gear. I don't see... That's weird. I don't see any of that.
Okay, now this is worth pointing out. This is what a protest is supposed to look like.
Also, if you notice... There are other videos where she says this protest was blatantly, anti-Semitic and anti-Israel.
Well, she was saying they were holding pro-Hamas signs.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
She actually called them terrorists.
Well, of course, but there's a lot of American Jews in this video alone. Because, again, people that have brains that function, that receive oxygen, know the difference between... a terrorist group that uses a people, a country, a state, a religion even, as a place to hide, okay, and a almost a martyr for their own cause, and the difference between the civilians, the people that just want to be left alone and live their lives. So she's calling this a protest, a insurrection, and again, she doesn't know what the word means because they weren't there screaming, "Hang Mike Pence, stop the election." They weren't count the votes. They weren't talking about any of that. An insurrection would have to do with people trying to take over our government, like she was a part of.
Didn't she say that Jan 6th was not an insurrection?
Well, she doesn't know the difference.
What the fuck is wrong with this woman? All right, so this is her introducing the House resolution to censor Representative Tlaib from Michigan, accusing her of anti-Semitic activity and sympathizing with terrorist organizations.
Literally just being a Muslim.
Right, exactly. And keep in mind, Marjorie Taylor Greene has gone out of her way to be a racist piece of shit. She has spoken at white nationalist rallies.
Proudly.
She has accused Jewish people of controlling space lasers and starting forest fires, but I actually forgot to upload that.
Oh, that's a shame, because we have actual footage of the Jewish space laser attacking its
actually,
real
you know
target.
what? You know what? We got to give our fans what they want. So hold on a second. I know I got this son of a bitch somewhere.
It's just funny because, like, she has a history. Like, this is a person who was chasing down school shooting victims.
Exactly.
She doesn't have any shred of humanity in her, because she is a absolute bigot. That's not even the best word for her, because she is vicious about it. There are plenty of bigots that are like just kind of quiet about it, or just kind of hold shitty beliefs. But this person is trying to negatively impact people's lives, affect United States policy based on her ignorance, based on lies, based on hate.
Exactly. And she perpetuates it, and the right-wing media gives her a platform. Hell, her boyfriend's the fucking reporter for one of the networks.
Yep.
You know, he was in the one video, not in that video, but there's another video where she's right next to him on the balcony.
Yeah, like he's like breaking news, and he's just interviewing his shitty girlfriend.
Yeah, and then here's the clip, and of course, you know, the right hates Ukraine. So here's another post of hers complaining about sending money to an ally country that is a democracy.
Yep.
Who we made a deal with years ago that if they gave up their nuclear arsenal, we would help them in the future, which is what we're doing. We're keeping our word. And all she wants to do is bitch about it.
Yep. Well, it's not like logic is something these people have any grasp on. But.
No. Well, let me play the next video, because this even proves further our point that she's just a racist, horrible person.
Supremacist, which I take great offense to. That is like calling a person of color the N-word.
I don't think so. Not even close. Okay.
Let's make it clear. There are many horrible words that I personally have been trying to remove from my vocabulary, because, again, as someone who grew up in a very particular path, not that I wasn't exposed to people of different ethnicities and religions and capabilities and sexualities and genders and identities. There's still language, you know, growing up as someone from the 80s, that still finds its way into your sentences sometimes. The R word, right? There's a lot of other words.
There is.
But there is no word that is like calling a black person the N-word.
No.
There is so much history under that word that as soon as you open that sentence, that's exactly like saying, I have black friends. Stop it. You're not defending.
I know, right? Yeah, I have a black friend. It's so dumb. So anyway, here we're going to show how absolutely ignorant Marjorie Taylor Greene is, because she has this thing where she is so against wind and solar power. Now I'm going to show you a video, because she doesn't get it. She thinks that at night when the sun goes down, that solar panels stop producing energy. It's ridiculous. So let me play the video first, and then we can go ahead and make fun of it. Now, before I start the video, though, towards the end, when she says she doesn't want to go to bed when the sun goes down, you can hear the audience go dead silent, like they realized in real time that she's an absolute.
Her own crowd.
God for air conditioning. Let's talk about refrigerators. I personally like my refrigerator. I know you all like yours. What about washing machines and dryers?
The right is so obsessed. They think that we are coming for their freaking washers, dryers, and
Lord, please, God, don't make me
coming for their George Foreman grills.
Have to hang them out on the line when we switch over to wind turbines and solar panels. I'm going to be really pissed off about that.
So she thinks, let me just add this real quick, that if we go to wind and solar, that she was going to have to wash her clothes by hand and hang them on a line. Okay,
I mean,
continue this.
I like the lights on.
I like
want to stay up later at night. I don't want to have to go to bed when the sun sets.
Here's where the audience is dead silent.
It's so silly.
I don't want to go to bed when the sun sets.
Okay. So I'm going to just briefly explain very simply how solar power and wind power work. No, and I don't mean this to be like any sort of like sarcastic thing. I actually, for a while, before my current job that I've been in for way too long, I worked in a company that made battery backup systems to use with solar power. That's the key word, is batteries. Anyone that knows anything about technology, your iPhone, your freaking mouse, anything runs on batteries. And the whole key to our future is increasing battery technology, storage capability. So the way solar works is, while the sun is out, you actually don't need all of the energy that your solar panels produce throughout the day, because it's a ridiculous amount of power. So what happens is there's things called batteries that store power. And then when there is no sun, you take from those batteries to run things like your stoves and refrigerators and washing machines. So there it is. There's my little TED talk.
And the funny part is she could have Googled it before. I can't believe she gave a speech to other adults and thought that she was on the like, she thought she had him. She thought she was going to own the libs and be like, I'm going to attack solar. And then this is what happens when you don't research, when you get all your information from QAnon and Truth Social. This is what happens.
You know, that's a good point. That's what we're seeing is more than ever. We used to have like voters that would just regurgitate the rhetoric, the propaganda, the ignorance, the Facebook posts, right? But slowly, out of nowhere, our politicians are now using these unproven, unsubstantiated, often disproven nonsense as if they're facts, alternative facts, as you like to hear MAGA say. There is no such thing as alternative facts. There is ignorance of a subject and knowledge of a subject. That's it.
Yep. Remember Rudy Giuliani said facts are not facts. What?
Yeah, well.
Yeah. All right, moving on. So I think Marjorie Taylor Greene is the most horrible woman in America, but close in second place.
She's pretty shitty.
We have Governor Huckabee Sanders from Arkansas, who has just decided to go full on fascist and start banning words.
Yep, just as shitty as her dad.
Yeah, let's play this one.
Enough trying to erase women and girls. Enough denying our biological.
Oh, notice she's not using the lantern or the lectern, the podium.
She's afraid she'll get
differences. And enough of the craziness that is taking over our country. I've had the honor of being both the first woman and the first mother to serve as the governor of Arkansas. Before that, I was the first mother and only the third woman to serve as the White House press secretary.
And you were
because of that,
and a liar.
I came into this role with a few pretty unique experiences. Among them is giving birth to 3 amazing kids. That experience underscored to me that a woman's perspective is important and fundamentally different from a man's. Nowadays, though, only conservatives seem to be making that point.
Look, oh my God. The problem we have here is this is pure performative bullshit, okay?
It is.
This was really about, she undertook this big thing to remove all this woke language from government documents. None of those words were in any of those documents, because if you notice, in every one of the pieces of media that talk about this, no one can show you a document before and after that had the words that she's talking about in it and then removed. Exactly. So that's number one. Number two, half of the terms that these people think are woke are medical terms.
I know. Let's get into the second video, actually. I think she actually goes over the words that she's so upset about. And I am thoroughly confused.
Nonsense words to erase women and girls, and more importantly, to erase our voices and our experiences.
No one's
Today,
doing that.
Nobody's
we're
doing
taking
that.
a stand against woke nonsense. What frankly started as a fad among a few grad students has seeped down into corporations, the healthcare industry, and increasingly state government.
She apparently knows
it's demeaning to women,
whatever.
And it
I don't know
needs
what
to
she's
stop.
talking about.
In a moment, I'll sign an executive order banning a number of all sorts of ridiculous words from state government documents. Those include words like pregnant people, laboring person, birth giver, and several other nonsense terms that have cropped up in recent years. Some on the left will accuse us of being nitpicky.
I'll accuse you of being a fascist.
We are definitely accusing you of being nitpicky and racist and a fascist. Yes.
Well, I'm accusing her of being a cherry picker, because that's what Christian nationalist fascists are, and that's all this is them trying to solidify their definition of what not just people are, but what their roles are supposed to be.
Right.
Because if you listen to the language that she used, it was all about how women and mothers in birthing. There was nothing in there about women succeeding in business, getting paid the same, getting shown respect, not being raped when they go to their parking to get the car in their parking lot at night. Okay, the whole concept of being anti-woke is to make sure that when the hammer comes down and the fascists have taken control, they already have in place the legal framework to make sure they can impose their rigid structure based on their interpretation of their religion.
Exactly.
That's it. No one out in public cares about this stuff because what are they fixing? It's a problem that doesn't exist. They're literally trying to make something that annoys them, that triggers them, into a policy that no one asked for. No one's actually complained. No one on the right would know what the word woke mean if shitty politicians didn't try and tell them that everything woke is bad. There is no way the average MAGA person happened to come across a post on TikTok by someone who was 25 years old that went, man, it's pretty cool that we're becoming a little bit more woke about society.
Yeah.
That's not real.
I've always said that being woke, and if you look up the actual definition of it, which is pretty easy to do, just means awareness of social injustice. 4 words: awareness of social injustice. It's that easy. So if awareness is woke, then obviously ignorance would be anti-woke, and I'm perfectly okay with that.
Yeah, I am perfectly okay. I just watched a video earlier because one of my guilty pleasures is watching people like Luke Beasley and others, the Good Liars, just interview Trump supporters. And my God, it started where they had to lead them into a trap. Now these people are just falling all over themselves. The one in particular was about someone asking a maggot what woke means. The guy, after laughing, that nervous laugh because they don't actually know what it means, he actually looks off camera and goes, "Could you help me with this?" to someone else. And when there's no help that arrives, he starts explaining it. But the explanation, beautifully, are just buzzwords. He literally was like, leftist, BLM, LGBT, trans. It was just buzzwords. They don't even know how to put a coherent thought together. Forget a sentence. They don't have thoughts in their head.
No.
It's freaking scary.
Not only banning words, which we talked about this when we did our episode about Project 2025. This is right up their alley.
That's what this is. That's more of what this is.
So she recently purchased a podium, apparently, for $19,000. And Midas Touch Network actually broke this story.
Oh, yeah.
Call it Lectern Gate. So on the left, you see the lectern that she bought, which is apparently supposed to be a very high-end lectern. I believe the company was like Falcon Lecterns or something like that. So Midas Touch looked it up, and like even their top end ones are like $4,000 or $5,000. So he's trying to figure out how she could possibly spend $19,000 on a podium. Turns out, if you see on the right, we got the Eiffel Tower.
Embezzlement.
Turns out she paid her personal friend, who is also a Jan 6th insurrectionist, $19,000 for this fake lectern or podium, and then they took a trip to Paris together. So that's where the money went.
Huh.
She went to Paris on taxpayer dollars.
That's weird. It's almost like she's a corrupt piece of shit.
Almost. I mean, no, it's true. She is.
And again, this goes to everything else I've ever said about them. They're not even good at criming. Like, no. I'm not saying the Democrats haven't pulled this shit over the years. I'm sure there are Democrat politicians that have done just as scumbacious shit, right? We got that guy from New York. Is it New York or New Jersey? The one that keeps refusing to, not Santos, the other guy, Menendez or Mendez.
Oh, the Democratic one, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, point being,
refusing to step down.
There's corruption everywhere. That's fine. But my God, they're not even good at it. Like, you don't keep your stolen documents in a bathroom. You don't, on a credit card, pay your friend $19,000 for a podium that costs $4,000. What are you doing?
Credit card, no less.
On a government credit card. Right? DeSantis isn't even good at it. And he's like the best fascist we have so far. He's like the one closest to it.
Just to give you an example, in the military, like certain people, they would get government credit cards to purchase anything they would need for like whatever around the area. And I had a guy that we were in the barracks with who purchased 4 tires for his car. I think it was a total of like $800. He got kicked out of the military. Now this woman goes and It's that big a deal. So this woman goes and spends 20 G's almost, which is actually 20 grand is the cutoff. She had $19,000.
Yeah, don't be more suspicious.
Yeah, just right under the cutoff on a government credit card. I mean, people like this should not. I mean, don't we as Americans at least deserve a government free from stuff like this? Is that too much to ask? I don't get it.
But yet again, you have. And again, I'm not separating Democrats from Republicans in the potential for being shitty monsters. But look, if there were stories that any Republicans, any right-wing media network could dig up now, I'm not talking 10 years, I'm saying right now in this point in history, which is so critical to everything that we have hoping for the future, if they could screw the Democrats any way they could, they would do it. They would find the receipts. They would show video. They would do They would get anyone to testify in front of anyone. And you know what? The stories are still coming out that it's the Republicans.
It's always
they're the ones that are doing this because they got so emboldened by what they thought Trump promised that they could just run free monster vulture capitalism and impose evil fascism on all of us and get away with it. That I think they tipped their hand and they started before the insurrection won. You know what I mean? So, like, I think this is just what they are, and they don't know how to go back because they don't have people in place that can govern. Sarah Huckabee Sanders is a nobody. Okay, be the press secretary, great, but you are not in any way qualified to be a governor. You're not qualified to be governor of a sandbox. So I don't know who these people are. You have a Marjorie Taylor Greene, a Bobo Bobert from Colorado, who people are finally turning against. You have all these people that are fundamentally incapable of stringing 3 words together coherently, and they're running our government.
Yeah, I know that's the sad part. Is we have insurrectionists that are in Congress currently.
Yep.
People that volunteer. Like we said, Pipe Bomber Barbie. She's currently the most powerful woman in the government.
Our new Speaker of the House is a insurrectionist.
Yeah, that too. So, all right, next, let's get away from these guys. I want to talk about Fox News because Fox News has been pissing me off, even after being sued and settling almost $1 billion loss, or they almost paid out almost $1 billion. It's like $787 million. They are still somehow the most watched and most trusted. I'll put that in air quotes.
Where's that statistic coming from, by the way? Because every maggot doesn't watch Fox. So do we have that many like middle of the ground independents, confused Democrats, and like somewhat human Republicans that are still watching, of all things, Fox News?
See, that's the thing. I mean, I understand you want to get your news from different sources, but Fox News isn't even technically a news network. They're
by their own definition
company.
By filings in company, they are not a news source.
So I think, as people of America, and with the damage that Fox News has done, I suggest that the people collectively should be allowed to sue right-wing
class action lawsuit. That's literally what that exists for.
Exactly. Why should after what they did to this country, the fucking bullshit they put us through, the lies, the lawsuits, the evidence of lies, the intent, why should we as American citizens, because they've literally they were the amplifier. Okay, Donald Trump
they were the megaphone,
the origin, and they are the megaphone that took this and took it out to the world. And they were relentless, nonstop. They still do it, even after they were caught lying, even if that was proved they were lying. They continue on to push their propaganda, and I'm absolutely sick and tired of it.
The speakership, Sean Hannity, we're talking almost days ago, maybe a week or two. Sean Hannity, who still works at the network, was sending out text messages and trying to figure out where the holdouts were and all the other stuff. So they're still trying to interfere with our government.
Fox News, Sean Hannity was emailing the holdouts from the GOP. He was sending a pressure email to holdout. Why the fuck is Sean Hannity from a news company even getting involved in the political
spectrum? Not speculation.
Like, why are you trying to influence politics?
We have those texts. We know it happened.
Yeah,
and no one talked about it. It was like in the news cycle for like an hour and a half.
Imagine if the Democrats did that. For 1 second, they would be calling for everybody's resignation. Everybody would be censured. It would be mass hysteria.
They must have all taken, like the Republicans in general, if they've got one thing right, they must have taken a lot of lessons with David Blaine, the street magician, and David Copperfield, the guy that used to do all those illusions in the 90s. My fuck, they have pulled the wool over so many people's eyes by doing what they are telling everyone that the left is doing. But they're doing it in public. They're, like I said before, they're not even good at criming. They're all literally waving banners about the shit they're doing and pointing to the left saying they're the ones doing it. You're literally doing it. You are currently trying, in regards to Fox News specifically, you're still trying to influence our government, our lives, our policies. And that's not, that's not like a trumped up statement I'm making. It's, if a anchor on a news network is emailing Congress people on how they should vote, there's like 15 different levels of corruption and bullshit in there. That guy, there should have been like a trap door that opened up to him, under him on air, and just dropped him through. Like there should be an emergency eject button for someone that is that blatantly anti-American and pro-fascist, because that's what this is.
And all he cares about is ratings. All Fox News cares about is their
look at Tucker.
Money.
And you know what? It's funny because Tucker got them ratings. They didn't get Tucker ratings. Tucker's gone. And like you said, they're still the biggest network in news.
Yeah, now Tucker's nothing pretty much for the most part, doing shows on Twitter. But all right,
he's doing interviews with people who say Obama's gay.
Oh yeah, that's right. We saw that video too. That was interesting. So the video I'm going to play, this is Fox News pretty much saying, oh, the left is going to gush over Biden now. All we're going to see is people just gushing over Biden.
No one has done, because the
and then it cuts to them literally sticking their tongue up Trump's ass. So let's
play
that.
The media has undergone a fundamental transformation. They are gushing over President Biden. You are, if I may say, everything is advertised as you ran for president. You're also one of the most loved and respected, I would say that also, in history.
Well, get ready. It's going to be 4 years of nauseating gauzy coverage. The watchdogs, well, they're just lapdogs. Are you having fun in this job?
I am.
Is it?
I love it.
Look at the economy.
Take a look.
Are you getting the credit for this economic revival?
They continue to fawn over this guy like he's Jesus Christ.
The media, pretty vicious, not just to you, but to your family. How do you process that?
The answer to the question is mainstream media loves him.
Right over there is your hotel.
This is...
Yeah, that's right.
Hi, Mr. Trump. Look, your hotel is right over there.
It's a beautiful hotel.
Real change in tune with a new leader in the White House. The pundits were not hiding their excitement.
The greatest hotel in the world.
The president of China, you're launching these military strikes. Right there, you're saying, a reminder, here's who the superpower in the world is.
God, remove your tongue from his butthole for a second, man. Jesus.
There is a lot of people that got hepatitis T, that are actively trying to continue to spread that thing. But my God, I got to tell you that the audacity of pretending that the Democrats would ever fawn over one of their politicians, or that the media would ever fawn over any Democrat, is so removed from reality. It's again proof that they are just saying what they want to say. And we know that their base doesn't know how to do research. It's not even just that they don't do research, because they think they do. But in their opinion, research is verifying what they were told on the site of the channel that just told them that. Oh, well, it's on their website, so it must make sense that they said it. No.
Yeah.
They don't understand any of this. There is nobody gushing over President Biden. Maybe occasionally, if we're lucky, someone points out one of his accomplishments, but they are far more talking about the times he might slip, or the times that his stutter comes through, which is pretty fucked up. But there's no one gushing over Joe Biden. And not only did everyone gush over Trump, they're still gushing over Trump. No one's gushing over Joe Biden.
And I think I understand why that these right-wing idiots on the news do this, because Donald Trump has personally said that he's going to go after any news network that has spoken bad about him. That is an authoritarian Nazi Hitler move. Okay. Just so you guys know that. And in order for these networks to survive, guess what? They have to suck up to him. It's just like the reason.
I thought you were going to say suck off him.
Well, one of the other, probably both. One of the reasons that we recently found out from Mitt Romney after he announced his retirement is the fact that Donald Trump didn't get impeached, not because he didn't do anything wrong. They didn't think he was innocent. Republicans voted not to impeach him because they were afraid that if he got back into power, he would go after them. That is why.
Well, look, he wanted to be a mob boss, and mob bosses rule by fear, and I will give him credit. He is the most successful, maybe not, but the most highly attained rank of mob boss we've ever had, because he's taking all of those tropes and he put them in the White House. Like you said, every Republican politician, it's not that he had video on all of them. And this, I think, this speaks more to the character of the politicians than it does Trump. They're so afraid of being attacked by this guy because they have no moral backbone to stand up to him, not because they care that he's talking about them, but because they want to remain in power. They want to make sure that they continue to get the votes, that they continue to be able to siphon off money and go to France on trips. That's what these people are. And that's what Fox does. Is Fox is the print shop that puts out the flyers that these people can hand out in the little town hall meetings. That's what.
And
Fox
how are they not held accountable for the insurrection? Or
I mean, I think
they are directly responsible for people's doubt in the voting system and the
like 100%.
credibility of the voting. You know what I mean? They are personally responsible.
Yeah, don't forget Newsmax, all these other little shit boxes. They didn't really become anything until Fox opened the door to blatant lies.
Exactly.
That's when they showed up to be able to come in and lick up the scraps like hyenas and buzzards after the actual kill. Fox were the ones that were actually killing democracy. And the rest of these little groups were picking up the scraps and going, yeah, we too, yay, democracy sucks. That's what we have here, is a network that is abandoned the responsibility of news and journalism, which they aren't anyway, and gone right into propaganda. And they're still doing
National Enquirer of News. It's like an alien.
Yeah, like remember when Hillary gave birth to Bat Boy? Like that shit was serious. Why aren't we still talking about that? I want to know where Bat Boy is.
Right, I want to see Bat Boy. All right, let me play another video here. Again, of Fox News just sucking absolute bag of dicks.
Americans should be angry. You should be outraged. You should be worried. You should be concerned at what has happened in the election.
The Dominion software system has been tagged as one allegedly capable of flipping votes.
I am drunk.
How, for example, did senile hermit Joe Biden get 15 million more votes than his former boss, rock star crowd surfer Barack Obama?
It's called voter turnout.
Reveal that behind the scenes, many of the network's top stars and executives derided Trump's election lies as, quote, mind-blowingly nuts and, quote, totally off the rails, even as they criticized colleagues for pointing that out on TV. The filing is part of an ongoing defamation lawsuit filed
back before Dominion.
Yeah.
But yeah,
handily lost that.
I mean, they're a propaganda network. So my solution is either the FCC steps up and does their goddamn job, because they're not a news network and they're not reporting news. They're lying. They're just lies. Propaganda.
At the very least, they should not be allowed to be called news.
No, and absolutely not. But I don't think that would matter, because people would still believe what they say, because they're still the most trusted news network at the same time. Or the American people come together collectively and somehow figure out how to sue the living balls off of Fox News.
I wouldn't be surprised if some really good team of attorneys is looking at this and going, my God, this case, we don't even have to build it. We're just going to show 4 years of their network in court.
That's all you gotta do. I mean, yeah, just show all you don't need proof. The proof has been on air for years.
And I got to tell you, I would love to see some sort of ridiculous, unprecedented one where, so usually in class action lawsuits, all of the plaintiffs have to sign up, be on board with it. But I want to see a team of attorneys file this suit on behalf of every single American. And I mean everyone. Right. I mean even MAGAs and Republicans, because I want, when they win and they drain Fox Entertainment of every penny they're worth, I want everyone in this country to get a piece of that. I don't care if it's $1. Look, if they get billions of dollars, we're all going to do pretty well. And I guarantee you, not one of those MAGAs would hand in that check. They might all donate it to Trump's legal defense fund.
They probably would.
But they wouldn't deny receipt and cashing of that check. I guarantee you.
Yeah, I would frame that check. It would be like it'd be on my wall.
Well, I'd cash the shit out of it remotely. You know, I'd take a picture of it, because I would frame the shit out of that.
And the reason I wanted to bring up the concept of suing Fox News as a country is because I'm not the only one that's thinking of this. There are other people out there that feel the same way, that know a lot more about the legal system than I do. So hopefully we do actually hear some stuff about this in the near future. We'll keep reporting on it, obviously.
Oh, definitely. So, if I even smell it, I'm going to tell someone about it.
Oh, absolutely. I'm on board 100%. So, all right. So let's move on to America's greatest douchebag, Elon Musk. Oh, guys, we have figured out what to call tweets now.
True, because I've been confused. I've been very confused.
Right. People are saying they're called zeets now, which doesn't make any sense. It actually sounds like something. What's his name? I can't. Lil Jon would say on a rap video, zeet zeet. No. So we have come up with excretions. I think excretions is appropriate for what comes out of a lot of people's mouths on Twitter, brains.
All Elon Musk is the child in every man that thinks that when they're on the toilet, they have the best thoughts of their lives. And I am susceptible to this. I used to think that potty time was inspiration time, right? It wasn't, okay? It isn't, it wasn't, and that's all Elon Musk is. And we have proof, too, because boy, is he not doing much with Twitter, let me tell you.
No, since he bought Twitter,
not
only
$40 billion.
has the hate speech on it gone way up, profits have gone down, people are running, and here's a video to explain a little bit of the numbers.
App downloads fell roughly 38% globally between October 2022 and September 2023, according to Sensor Tower estimates. In the United States, mobile app downloads fell 57% in the same time period. Data from data.ai, another tracking firm, shows similar trends. The report continues on. Usage has also decreased, with monthly active users falling 14.8% globally and 17.8% in the US year over year for the month of September, per SimilarWeb. User churn, or users who stop using the app, increased more than 30% year over year as of September 2023, per Sensor Tower. Web traffic was down 7% globally and 11.6% in the US for the.
So he, single-handedly has destroyed a perfectly good platform. Now, Elon's obsession was to build an all-in-one platform. I think
whatever the fuck that means.
I think there's one in China. There's actually differences. I didn't know this, but it's a regional thing. Like in Asia, they have super apps, which is an app that you can do everything on, from banking to social media. You could book a Uber. You could trade stocks.
Like, that seems like a data mining operation right there.
Right. And this is usually China's got the biggest one. I think.
But that's so they could turn off the entire internet when they want to. That's what that is. That is the first step in fascist information network. Boop.
Right. And that's probably why a lot of like the European Union and America doesn't do that, because that has a lot of control. Because if that app crashes, or like you said, they decide to turn that son of a bitch off,
or someone hacks it.
What do you do? What do you do with that?
But it's funny because
that was what he wanted to do, and Elon is obsessed with control, which I think this makes sense because, I mean, proof is in the pudding. The guy literally turns off Starlink satellites at will if he feels like it. You know what I mean? He his own personal opinion
in war zones, by the way.
Yeah, that was for the Ukraine, and people got killed as a result of him turning. But I think that's too much power.
You look at what all those numbers were, and all those numbers were user data. But look at what the most recent announcement is that he's going to start charging users $1 a year. Mm-hmm. Okay, even with that drop in users, he still would theoretically make a ridiculous amount of money if all the users stay moving forward. But if that actually hits, he's going to lose a lot more users, and he still will make money on the users that stay. But this is all happening because he has almost no ad revenue anymore. Because even the companies that stayed around Twitter when it was a marginally racist hellhole, okay, are like, no, you've turned this into literally a KKK rally. So he's lost so much revenue from ads that his only option now is to milk the users, which the whole point of these apps is just to get people on something without a catch. Okay, our country and the world is so screwed up on capitalism that somehow just running ads makes money. Fine, at least let that be what it is. But now you're screwed it up so bad that you got to charge users, and he'll say it's $1 a year, whatever. Not the point. You have screwed up the fundamental $200 million. Of course,
it's still a few $100 million a year,
and it's still not. He still dropped the value of the company by half.
He did, just by naming it X, he
just
dropped
by
it
naming
by brand
it
value.
something, right? And don't forget, Tesla just lost a lot of money recently because they're not doing well. So
they lost a ton.
This guy who was never an inventor is just one of those schmucks with daddy's wallet going around and buying up companies. He's the perfect example of everything terrible with venture capitalism. That's what he is.
So our last topic of the day, I don't want to talk about Elon anymore. The guy pisses me off. Oh, just last side note on Elon, everybody. Just remember, yes, he buys ideas. Okay, he doesn't have ideas. He sees ideas, and if you're in his position, people come to you with ideas, begging you to buy them.
Yes,
exactly. That's where he gets these ideas. He doesn't have ideas. The guy's. When was the last time he's had an original idea that he hasn't paid for? So anyway,
never.
I'll leave it at that. Yeah, the GOP finally comes together in unison.
Yay.
It's probably the most horrible person. He might be worse than Jim Jordan.
On paper, he looks okay. But when you turn the page, my fuck is he a piece of crap.
Yeah, so we got Mike Johnson, who is anti-marriage equality and anti-gender affirming care. He's an election denier. You lose me on the next one. Against cannabis rescheduling, I'm out. Pro-government shutdown. So that is coming right around the corner.
He's everything Kevin McCarthy was. He's everything that the David Duke without the hood is. He's everything. That was Scalise, right? They literally got what they wanted. The MAGAs got what they wanted.
Well, let's go through who we had as speaker choices. First, we had Jordan. Well, yeah, it was Jordan or Scalise. They picked Scalise, and then they blackmailed his ass to get out of the
yeah.
I mean, they started releasing dirt on him right away.
Oh,
and he dropped out because he didn't want to deal with it.
Remember, this is Republican on Republican. The Democrats just sat back and watched.
Exactly.
This is all Republicans.
The next video I'm going to play just proves it, too. Jim Jordan, who's just a MAGA puppet, who lives inside Donald Trump's asshole. You have Tom Emmer, who lasted all of about 4 hours.
That was amazing. That's my favorite.
And he actually, you know what influenced Donald Trump to not go with Tom Emmer? Fucking cat turd. The cat turd account was starting to say how Emmer's not MAGA enough. Donald Trump reads it, reposts it, and now Tom Emmer's out of the equation. Yes, Donald Trump and his people get fucking political advice from an account called Cat Turd.
When are we doing a show on Cat Turd?
Next week.
All right,
or the week after, but we will be discussing because Don Jr. does an interview with Cat Turd.
Like it's real. Like it's actually a real thing.
I'm saying this out loud. All right. So now we have Mike Johnson. So who is Mike Johnson?
Yeah, what is he?
Let's play the first video. Oh, well, no, I'm sorry. Well, yeah, let's play the MAGA Mike video.
Yeah.
This is who Mike Johnson is.
Ascendant. And if you don't think that moving from Kevin McCarthy to MAGA Mike Johnson shows the ascendance of this movement and where the power in the Republican Party truly lies, then you're not paying attention.
Roe v. Wade gave constitutional cover to the elective killing of unborn children in America.
There's a lot of pro-lifers, of course, celebrating this extraordinary day in American history that took us almost a half century to get to.
In just a few number of years, Social Security goes belly up. So does Medicare, Medicaid, all of these big spending programs. We've got to think about long-term reforms to those programs.
You think about the implications of that on the economy. We're all struggling here to cover the bases of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid and all the rest. If we had all those able-bodied workers in the economy, we wouldn't be going upside down and toppling over like this. Listen,
that's forced birth.
He just blamed the problems with. Yeah, he just blamed the problems with the economy. In case anybody didn't pick up on that, on abortions. Yeah. So,
fuck.
He actually got to his position in a. I mean, Jim Jordan. The holdouts for Jim Jordan were harassed, and MAGA eats their own, or eats their young, as Donald Trump would say. But this is one of the threats that the wife of one of the GOP holdouts went through. Like this.
So a maggot called in or called the wife of one of the Republican holdouts that was trying a little bit, not that hard, but a little bit to stave off MAGA from taking control of Congress.
Exactly. So let's play that.
To pig. Why would he get on TV and make an asshole of himself? Because he's a deep state prick? Because he doesn't represent the people? So what we're going to do is we're going to come follow you all over the place.
So you're going to
MAGA on MAGA. MAGA on MAGA.
Nonstop. We are now Antifa. We're going to do what the left does because you're of a husband gets on TV, just, oh, the bad guys, they did, so I'm going to vote for Kevin McCarthy, a piece of shit who everybody knows, and for his piece of shit ass to talk about Americans who are actually fighting for Americans as the bad people, says everything about him. So you, your husband.
Jesus,
and
this is brutal.
We are gonna we're not like the left. We aren't violent, but we're gonna follow your ass. Every appointment you have, everything you.
You know, that's brilliant.
Did he just say?
No, you know what that is? Violent? That it's funny. It just hit me. That is the bully standing over the guy that they just hit, going, "Hit me, hit me, hit me," or even if they didn't hit them first, just taunting them to the point that you finally have had enough and you smack them in the mouth and they're like, see, you're violent. You're inherently violent. All I did was use words. I have free speech. That's what they'll say. This was free speech. Well, you know what? Threatening anyone isn't free speech. Threatening the spouse of a sitting member of Congress isn't free speech. Threatening a woman is fucking gross. And that's what these people are. It all comes together because nice MAGA Mike, who's the Speaker of the House now, he is a MAGA, but he's worse than that. He named himself. He is a Christian nationalist. He is a fascist. He is someone who wants to get rid of women's rights to not be forced to carry a pregnancy to term. Okay, this is someone that thinks that we should be forcing women, no matter the cause of the pregnancy, if the woman doesn't want to carry it to term, we should be forcing them to do it so that we can make sure we have more little capitalist workers to pull their wages away from so that we could pay for Social Security. No. How about we tax your ass because you're a rich piece of shit? How about we tax Elon Musk? How about we tax the church? How about we tax all of these entities that are not paying their fair share to make sure that all the workers that make your wealth for you, that they have something to fall back on when they retire? No, it's not about forcing women to create little workers, you piece of shit. It's freaking disgusting. Right? Holy crap.
Don't hold back, buddy. Tell them how you really feel.
It's disgusting.
It's video. I know. I have a video I'm looking for. I can't remember what the hell I saved it under.
Asshole.
It's an old video of him speaking at a church, and he essentially blames the problems with this country now on the civil rights movement of the 60s, the whole free love and all that stuff. Like,
let's not treat people like shit. That's what caused the downfall of society.
Yeah, he actually blames people for that, and it's just staggeringly ignorant and just obviously untrue. But this is what we're dealing with. This is absolutely what we're dealing with. And I am going to find Donald Trump's new ad if it kills me.
Well, one thing that I'll add to him is something that I believe I posted about it right before the show, but it was a statement that MAGA Mike said, and it was something about building the wall, right? And he basically said, we build the wall because we love the people who are on the inside. Okay, so let's look at what that means. If you take the inside to mean America, our home, right? Well, then he's saying we love the people in our home. Well, what about your neighbors, buddy? What about your religion that says love thy neighbor? Well, you know what love thy neighbor is? Taking thy neighbor into your home and treating them like one of your own. Now, I am not Christian. I am not religious, but I guarantee you I've read the Bible more times than that guy has. Okay, right. Because I know for a fact it says in the Bible that you should take people into your home and treat them as you would your own family. Okay, so he's already saying right there that the people that are outside of our home are not people. They are not equal to us. They are not our family. We will not respect them. We will not extend a hand to them. Tells you everything you need to know about these Christian nationalists, what they believe of their own religion.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, let's break it to all the Christian nationalists out there. But it even says in the Bible that Jesus wasn't white.
You have just pissed a lot of people off there.
I don't give a shit. I hate to point it out, but the Bible. I have never read the Bible.
So you're telling me in the middle of the Middle East. Ew, that was weird. The middle of the Middle East, several thousand years ago. Your God decided to prove that he loved you so much that he just put a white guy down in the middle of a bunch of brown people. Let me tell you something. That would have been very confusing to the people at the time.
It's just so bad, man. It's so bad. I hate to say it, but I mean, I probably just blew a lot of people's minds there, but you know.
I know you have, because you obsess over social media as much as I do, looking for what dumb people say. But have you seen the videos where it's like, you say one thing that's not in the Bible that would shock people, and it's like white people, and everyone just loses their mind because guess what? Right? It's true.
So somehow they have whitewashed Jesus and the Bible, and what I don't understand is how these people want us to live by the Bible. I mean, yes, I think faith and even religion is important. I mean, people need to believe in stuff in order just to get through this miserable existence, for crying out loud. But I don't think the Bible was ever intended to be taken literally. We can't even get people. Well, you know what? It makes sense. These people believe that everything as the Bible said, happened exactly the way it does. So it's not surprising to me that we can't get these people to believe in facts because they're already just not believing in facts from the start.
You look at people that are afraid of Halloween because they truly believe that black magic exists. Okay, if you think, and I don't want to turn this into a religion bashing, but if I'm going to bash your beliefs, if you use your beliefs to take away the rights and freedoms of others, and if you believe that a talking snake told a woman not to eat a particular apple that your God grew as food and then messed with that person that he put there by telling them to not eat that apple, you believe in nonsense, okay? So you believe in the satanic panic that Dungeons and Dragons is really casting spells. Ooh, booga booga. You believe that certain movies are going to cause people to think things because, ooh, magic, booga booga. It's not real, and your non-real bullshit should not affect my life. Like you said, maybe we both aren't religious people, and I have a very strong view against religion just due to historical fact. But
I'm a deist.
Fine, I'm okay with that. You know why? Because I know your beliefs are not going to try and take my rights away. You are not going to say, I believe in this. You can't believe in that. I don't care.
You should believe in it too.
I am someone who believes you have a right to your religion up until the moment that you put into practice something that takes away someone else's rights. That's it.
All right. So I did find the ad, and thank Luke Beasley for this one on YouTube.
Yeah,
if you guys haven't never followed Luke Beasley is an amazing talent.
Gen Z.
This is disturbing, and it's 1 minute and 16 seconds long, but I want to play it the whole way through. This is a Trump presidential campaign
just came out like a few days ago or today or something.
Nazi propaganda bullshit, and if this is how he's going to start his campaign, imagine how it's going to be for the next year.
With Trump taking a commanding lead and Bidenomics hurting American families, genius Hillary Clinton has come up with a way for Biden to win.
There needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members. Formal deprogramming of the cult members.
Of course, they take that and go
and she's right.
Of the cult members.
She is right.
But they are obsessed with Hillary.
Plan. And here's what that would look like.
What the fuck?
Pay attention. Joe Biden will defeat him.
This is weird.
Biden has done an amazing job. Amazing job.
So this whole thing is about Hillary.
The basket of deplorables.
They really did not want a woman to be
Working Americans aren't idiots.
Woke is no joke.
Who's on their side?
To American workers watching their take-home pay shrink and watching inflation destroy their family and their lives.
This is fucking disgusting.
To all of you, I have your back.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Meanwhile, as of a couple of days ago, the UAW again thanking Biden, working with Biden, and showing that if you are going to support the American people, you have to support workers. Union or not, you have to support workers, because if you let corporations take over, they're going to destroy you. But this whole ad is showing, in a way, what he did to people, what he did to MAGA, what Fox News did to MAGA. Okay, yeah, I get they hate Hillary, fine. When she said they have to deprogram the cult members, she's right. She's not right because she's on the left and I support her blindly. No, she's right because what we are seeing is the culmination of years of dedicated, targeted propaganda by Fox News, by Donald Trump, by all the Republicans to try and get and build a base of voters that they could use to help subvert democracy. That's where we are.
They've spent billions upon billions of dollars to program these people, and they've targeted the most ignorant and most naive and easily influenced people in America. That is what the right-wing media does. They want you to be afraid. They want you to be angry. And you know what? Eventually, they're going to be in the find out portion of effing around.
They are.
And I hope it comes soon, because they should be held responsible for what they've done to this country. Right-wing media, social media needs to step up. A lot of platforms do have decent amount of moderation, but then you have right-wing social media. You have places like Rumble, and you have Substack, and then you have obviously Donald Trump's failing social media platform,
which will not be around much longer.
No, but you have all these other platforms that are out there to amplify the conspiracies and just. Well, next week we're going to show how delusional these Trump supporters are. So that's one of the topics for next week, is how far the rabbit hole goes down.
Because
how far these people have gone down the rabbit hole.
I'm still amazed. Every day, someone is putting out more videos of these people with their brain literally dripping out of their nose.
Right? It's like,
okay, and just when I think it was like the dumbest thing I ever saw, they're proving that the base is getting more distilled into a bunch of lunatics, because they're getting to the point where, and I was telling you this before the show, that they can't even put a sentence together. They're just using, if someone says what's woke, they literally just respond with buzzwords. They don't even, they're not like, woke is this. They're like, BLM, gays, leftist, so the next show, as much as I really hate harping on Trump, we cannot ever stop letting people know how dangerous his base is, because it's not even him anymore. And yeah, that ad is dangerous, but it's becoming a life of its own, because I gotta tell you, if the head was chopped off right now, the body is going to just put something new in its place to keep spouting the rhetoric that they will continue to follow. Donald Trump won't be the end of this.
It won't be the end of Trumpism.
No.
It'll be the end of the cult. I think what'll happen, because he's the focal point and they have no backup person. So what I think will happen is, once Trump is out of the picture through either deceased or prison, hopefully, they'll break into factions. We're going to have all these different factions of MAGA idiots, and they're going to be competing against one another to be the most MAGA.
I think what they're going to do, I think you're 100% right. They're going to break into little individual cult-like militias.
Exactly.
And then one by one, they're going to evangelicize themselves into taking the next step. And my God, some 18-year-old in the army is going to fly a drone over their compound and just
boom. Right? Yeah. Good luck with that one. So I think that's about all for the show today. I
that went quick,
enjoyed
dude.
It. Yeah, we really enjoyed having everybody on. I know we had some live viewers today. I appreciate that. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We are just starting out, and all we're missing is a little bit of support from you guys. So do you guys?
We have plans.
Any closing comments, Mike?
What do we have coming this week? My comments are always trying to look forward, And you know what we got this week? Some testimony up in New York.
Oh, that is coming
I'm gonna
up.
be
I
watching.
can't wait for that. Yeah.
No, but if I had to make one comment, thank you for watching. Continue to watch. Hold on to your ass. Watch your back. Yeah. And please vote.
Like I said, we're just getting warmed up. We are putting out right now. We have 2 shows a week, but we're trying to do more. It's literally just me and Mike. We do all our own research, our editing, comments, everything we do ourselves. So any support is appreciated. Tell your friends. But yeah, we're just getting started, and hopefully you guys will continue to grow with us. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.